as Spurs absolutely thrashed in this one by Nottingham Forest. All right, let's have a look at the bottom half of the Premier League standings, because that's where you will find Spurs. They are tied with Newcastle in 11th and 12th with 22 points each. And Forest, they're in 16th spot, but no doubt they will be feeling pretty big after that big win. Nedum, let me come to you because you're with us as well with Frank Leboeuf. But Nedum, Spurs just not looking good at all.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think the way this season started, I thought maybe this will work out really well with Thomas Frank at the helm. But as the weeks have passed, you start to see a bit of discontent because they were really, really poor at home, but they still had a good away record. But if things start falling down in the away side of things as well, then I think it's going to be hugely disappointing. And I think, we saw those goals there, the mistake from Archie Gray for the first one, and then the goalkeeper Vicario for the second one. But the fact is, you're playing against the Forest side, who were playing in Europe on Thursday night. And yes, they did change some players, but it's a different type of focus, and you should almost be thriving to play against a team that's not at the same amount of recovery as you. But instead for Spurs, you see Forest essentially dominate the game itself. And more disappointingly, which is something that sort of is sliding under the radar a little bit, Spurs are again lacking creativity. I think when we see or think of the best version of a Spurs side, you see one that's creating tons of opportunities, you're seeing speed in transition, you're seeing nice bits of play, you're seeing chance after chance after chance. But this isn't the Spurs side that we've seen, and today was another example of that. And unfortunately, this is kind of becoming 4, 5, 6 times where this has been the case so far this season.
Frank, what did you make of this latest loss for Spurs? Because as Nedum pointed out, we understand that they had their issues at home that they were trying to right. But if now you can't get big wins away from home, I mean, should we start pressing that panic button?
Yes, we should, and it's going to be a hard time for Thomas Frank, I think, because I have seen Spurs being like that for years, where the inconsistency has been the trademark of that club. Where you can win the Europa League, you can pretend to chase the best, but suddenly you disappear or you become the Spurs that I know, and there isn't any reaction. That's what I feel the most about that club. Is I don't feel the pressure. I don't feel the pressure of the fans being fed up to see years after years the same situation where they can pretend to be good and get something out of it, and suddenly, being out of it. And that's absolutely crazy for me. And from the club, from the board, and from the fans, I'm expecting something coming out to say, now, enough is enough, guys. You're on the field. Why you can find inconsistency? Because that's the same word every year that I say about Spurs, because you have the talent, you have the possibilities, you have the money for that, and nothing comes up.
All right, well, we've had a weekend full of Premier League action, but that they have to save the best for last. And that is the game that's coming up tomorrow. Manchester United up against Bournemouth. Here are the odds for that one, and believe it or not, I did not rig this.
I don't believe it.
Manchester United favorites to win against Bournemouth at home, so that only means that United will now inevitably lose against Bournemouth at home. But we'll be reacting to it, win, lose, or draw, with guess who? Dimitar Berbatov on tomorrow's show. I'm sure he's going to have a wonderful time answering more questions about not just United, but Spurs.